Here's a little thing. So I studied history in college. My name's Joshua Rivard. I'm running for state rep out in the 81st District. It covers St. Clair County from Algonac to Port Huron Township, straight west to Capac and down to Emmett Township. Now, studying history, one of the most interesting things I found was the amount of alcohol that the founding fathers drank. They went into bars, they went into coffee shops, and that caused a ruckus. And that's how democracy was born, amongst a ruckus of people having a good time arguing. I don't see that happening much these days, and I think we need to change that. We need to wake up and get alive. The engine of democracy is sputtering. We need to grab the tools of the people and get to work fixing it. And that's what I plan on doing. Because I was raised by an engineer, and that's what you do. You get your sleeves up, you grab the tools, you get to work. You don't complain, you work through it. So that's what I'm here today to do. Now, some things I want to talk about, everybody's ready to talk about. Education, mental health, infrastructure, these are all hugely important things. With education, I think our biggest problem is the amount of counselors within our schools. Ain't enough. I had one counselor, she told me to go to college. I probably would have been better off in an apprenticeship. I'm quite good with my hands, it turns out. But more importantly is we need better counselors for mental health, because kids aren't getting it. And I also believe that schools should act as community centers, especially out in rural districts where they don't have access to things like mental health counselors, therapists, or even just general help in life. If we can provide those in our schools, we provide that to a broader range of our communities. Side of education, obviously, I still believe in mental health. My brother committed suicide in 2011. It devastated me and my family, our group of friends, and kind of did some damage to the larger community of Algonac. And I don't believe it's being talked about enough. I don't think there's a representative up there saying, we need to help our first responders, our vets, our students, our young people struggling with depression and anxiety and PTSD and other such problems. And I think we need to get loud and be there. And I don't see that representative happening, so that's why I'm here doing that. Because, God damn it, I will not let somebody else die from suicide in this county. It hurts a lot, and it needs to stop. We need to start putting resources into it. And with infrastructure, I agree that the roads in our state are bad. I ride my bike everywhere across the state. They're all pretty garbage. I bought a mountain bike just so I could help navigate some of them. If you actually follow me on my Snapchat, which I'll plug in a second, I have this little section I call pothole jumps, where I take my mountain bike, I find the biggest potholes in the community, and I try to see if I can clear them. They're pretty hard to clear, it turns out. They're pretty big. So actually, I believe that physical infrastructure is a problem, but I think our digital infrastructure is just as big as a problem. Have you tried navigating the Secretary of State website?
Yes.
It's a nightmare, right?
Yes.
I mean, look how sleek and sexy Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr are. Why can't our state government have that? Because it doesn't take a lot. Just a little bit of work. We can have easy-to-access websites where people can pay online their debts they owe, where they can check to see the information they need for things like their court dates, or access to other such things as like a volunteer network across the state, where people can sign up and easily access local community events where they can roll up their hands, volunteer, and help repair democracy. That's one of the things I believe. I think that's all I got for digital infrastructure. We're from Millennial, right? So, I want to keep it short and sweet because everybody else will be hitting the same points I all believe in, because we're all Democrats in this room and we're all fighting hard fights. Actually, I tell people I'm running for the 81st, which is a district that voted so hard for Trump. They wrote about us in Reuters twice. That's international press. You don't hear about Algonac or St. Clair County that often in international press. And then somebody told me that, running as a Democrat and trying to win is tall order. My response is, well, I'm a tall man. So I think I can do it. So I got actually something I want to plug to y'all real quick. So obviously my website is rivardruns.org. You can find out all my contact information. You can check out my issues, stances on issues, updates constantly. I will be also offering fireside chats, where I record a regular podcast where I update you on the campaign. And when elected, I will keep regular updates as to what I'm doing in Lansing, because I believe in complete transparency for the people. That's how democracy thrives. There's a big event I have coming up that I want you all to be interested in and help me out or get involved in with. I call it a Day of Giving, because it's not a fundraiser, because it's not typical in that way. June 16th, I'll be riding for 24 hours across Muskegon, back to Algonac, coast to coast. I will be hitting big cities, small towns, farming villages, manufacturing towns, and talking about their issues. I'm going to be loud. I'm going to be visible. I want y'all to join me, either digitally or in person, where I talk about these problems. And bring awareness that these issues that affect the 81st or the 32nd or the 1st or the 3rd or the 101st affects the state, not just us. We need to think locally, but think on a broader context. So June 16th, look out for that. If you want to follow me on social media for that ride, you can follow me at Rivard Runs on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. That's all I got for y'all today. Keeping it short and sweet. Have a great day.